Have you ever personally experienced rejection or any disappointment in your life? How did it affect you? Did you react or respond? Amid the turbulent currents of life's ocean, where the world's rejection threatens to drown our hopes and dreams, there exists a profound truth. In the heart of adversity, in the throes of life's rejection, we find not only the strength to survive, but also the divine melody of God's redirection. Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Empowering You for Success. For today's episode, we will focus on the world's and life's rejection, turn and tune into God's redirection. Just like we've mentioned earlier, when we talk about rejection, who among you or who among us are excused from experiencing rejection? Whether it's in your personal life or in your professional life. What is the recent rejection in life that you've experienced? How painful was it? And how did you endure it? And another question is, are you moving forward from it? Rejection is an act of dismissing or refusing or declining something or someone. If we do it towards others, then sometimes we even feel bad, right? But if the action is done towards us, it may also bring not definitely not a positive reaction, but most of the time a negative reaction. But can we actually spin that around? How are we looking at rejection? Because rejection, everyone is an idea. Okay. It could be a rejection of an idea, it could be a rejection of a request, or even a rejection of a person or an individual, maybe, proposing their idea or love to you. Now, often this is due to various reasons, such as it could be disagreement, unsuitability, or even lack of interest. Now, rejection can take many forms and can occur in various contexts, including personal relationships, professional settings, academic pursuits, and even more. And this can happen even inside the church. In broader sense, rejection can encompass emotional and social dimensions as it often leads to feelings of disappointment, hurt, or exclusion. You and I can experience rejection in different ways, and its effects can actually vary significantly based on individual resilience and coping mechanism. Now, rejection is a common human experience and it can have both negative and positive consequences. While it can be emotionally challenging and may lead to feelings of inadequacy or self doubt, it can also serve as a catalyst for personal growth and resilience. And looking at it from the perspective of how God can actually turn this into a redirection if we only tune in to his words. Now, redirection in one's life's journey is definitely something interesting that we can take a look at. How rejection is perceived and its impact on an individual, it will depend on your perspective, your circumstances, and your ability to adapt to change. What are the common effects of rejection? You can type it down on the comment box. What are the often observed effects of rejection, maybe for you or to people around you? Yes, take time. Write it down on the comment box. Rejection, you're correct. It can have significant effects on the various aspects of an individual's life, including our emotional, psychological, and social well being. Now, here are some of the effects of rejections in our life. Number one, emotional distress. Rejections often leads to emotional pain, including feeling of sadness, anger, disappointment, and hurt. It can result even in low self-esteem and a sense of worthlessness. These emotions can be intense and long-lasting. Number two, low self esteem. Experiencing rejection can actually affect your self confidence and self worth. It can erode your self confidence and self worth if you're not careful. So, individuals may start doubting their abilities and value, which can have a long term impact on their self esteem. Has that ever happened to you? Anxiety and depression. Number three, chronic or severe rejection can contribute to the development of anxiety and depression. The constant fear of rejection or the aftermath of a significant rejection can actually lead to these mental health issues. Number four, people who have experienced rejection may withdraw from social interactions, fearing further rejection. Now, this can lead to loneliness and social isolation, which can actually just stimulate emotional distress. Number five, impaired relationships. Rejection can affect one's ability to form and maintain healthy relationships. Individuals may become guarded or defensive and making it challenging to trust others or be simply vulnerable. Number six, negative coping mechanisms. Some individuals may turn to unhealthy coping mechanisms such as substance abuse or self destructive behaviors to numb the pain of rejection. And number seven, for some, it can impact their goal pursuit. Rejection can sometimes discourage an individual from pursuing their goals and aspirations. Has that ever happened to you? Sometimes they may give up or their dreams or ambitions due to fear or failure or further rejection. And number eight, it definitely has physical health effects. Prolonged stress from rejection can have physical health consequences, including a weakened immune system and an increased risk of cardiovascular issues. So we just are transitioning from the pandemic crisis. COVID-19 is still there, and there are news that it has other variants. So everyone make sure that you don't get your health affected by rejection because it can affect your immune system. Number nine, impact on your self identity. Rejection can cause sometimes individuals to question their identity and purpose in life. It may force them to reevaluate their values and beliefs. And lastly, number 10, spiritual struggles. For those with faith, rejection sometimes can lead to spiritual struggles. Sometimes, even if you're a Christian for quite some time, and even for new Christians, you may actually ask the question why God or a higher power allowed the rejection to occur and may need to find new ways to reconcile their faith with experiences. Now, everyone, it is very important that we take a look at another two aspects, and that is resilience and growth. On the positive side, some individuals, if you use rejection as an opportunity for personal growth and resilience, you can actually learn from your experiences and become more adaptable, empathetic, and resilient in the face of future challenges. And another one is redirection and personal discovery. Rejection actually can sometimes lead individuals like you and me to discover new interests, talents, or our calling in life. It can serve as a catalyst for exploring alternative paths in our life, your life. It is important to note that the effects of rejection can vary greatly from person to person depending on their resilient support system and coping mechanism. So, if you need to seek support from friends, family, or mental health professionals, that can actually be very crucial in navigating the emotional aftermath of rejection and finding ways to heal and to grow. Now, my question to you as Christians, how should we face and deal with rejections in life? Did the rejection lead to a positive redirection in your faith or life path? Now let's discuss. life's rejections turn to God's redirection. Now, in the face of disappointment, rejection, or adversity, it's very important that you and I can find purpose, meaning, and new direction in our lives through our faith in Jesus Christ. Now, this concept actually suggests that even when things don't go as planned, God can guide you and me towards a different path that ultimately serves as a higher purpose. Now, let me share with you more about how you can do this in some relevant Bible verses. Remember, everyone, life is full of disappointments and rejections, whether it's in our personal relationships, in our professional life, including career goals and other aspects of our lives. Now, these setbacks can be emotionally challenging and disheartening. However, many people also believe that God has a plan for everyone. Sometimes these rejections are actually a way for God to guide us, to guide you toward a different, more meaningful path in your life. Examples that I can give, it could be a job loss. Now, a job loss, imagine if someone loses their job. Have you experienced that? I think during the pandemic, all of us, if not most of us, experienced that. Now, which most of the time we might have thought that it was your dream job or our dream career. And because of that, we feel rejected and lost. However, through prayer and faith, we might discover a new career opportunity that aligns more with your true calling and helps you become a more positive person and can have a more positive impact on others' lives. Second one, relationship breakup. A person experiences a painful breakup, feeling rejected and heartbroken. And sometimes, when we find someone we love, we build around our world, okay? Uh, in that person. So actually, that's something that I've learned. When you love someone, it's okay to love them. Let them be an inspiration, but never let your world simply revolve around them, because the center of our life, okay, should always be the Lord. Now, as you turn to your faith and seek God's guidance, even if you have or you had your relationship breakup or you're going through it right now, you might find that this breakup can lead you to grow personally, become more self aware, and eventually find a more fulfilling and loving relationship in the future. And remember, the Lord heals the brokenhearted. So instead of drawing farther from the Lord, draw nearer to the Lord, and may this breakup redirect you to the path of your relationship with God. Third, failed business venture. Sometimes when we exerted all our effort to build a business and you face financial loss, it definitely can bring a lot of disappointment. Through prayer and seeking God's will, you may find that the experience actually teaches you valuable lessons. It can connect you with people who share the same values and may open doors to a new, successful business endeavor. Remember, successful, rich, and wealthy business man or women nowadays, they did not start with a business that never failed. Actually, they did experience quite a lot of rejections and quite a lot of failures. But what's the difference between them and those that did not succeed? They never stopped and they never gave up. So please continue, rise up, and ask God for redirection. Maybe because the business landscape changed so fast and so dynamic, maybe you should also change, calibrate a little bit your strategy and approach. So, what better way to do that by seeking God's wisdom and guidance so He can bless you with wisdom and can bless your business too. Remember, He can provide you divine connection. And some Bible verses that I want to share with all of you are the following. Number one, Proverbs 16:9. In the hearts of human, they have their plans, but the Lord establishes your stamp. Take a look also at Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope. Now, this verse actually assures us that God has a plan for your life and mine, even when we face adversity. And never forget Romans 8:28. And we know that in all things, God works for those who love Him and who have called according to His purpose. So we know this very well. All things work together for good, right? So as long as you love God and you actually are doing things or actions in your life that glorifies Him. And fourth one will be Proverbs 3:5-6. My life first. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge Him or submit to God, and He will make your path straight. Now, this verse encourages you to trust God's guidance and acknowledge His role in directing our lives, even in the midst of rejection. So, everyone, before we end, I simply want to remind you in life, let us keep our minds and hearts rooted in faith. That suggests God can use life's disappointments and rejections to guide you toward a better, more meaningful path and purposeful path in life. Now, these are the examples that we've had when it comes to Bible verses, and I know you might also have your own that you can think of. Remember, God's plans often surpass our own, and with faith and trust, we can find hope and meaning even in the face of adversity. So always remember, everyone, God can turn a mess into a great message. So, what will be your message in spite of that rejection on how actually God redirected you? So, I would want to leave you with some questions that you could share the answer through a video. So, number one, what role does faith play in your ability to see rejections or setbacks as potential opportunities for God's redirection in your life? Again, what role does faith play in your ability to see rejections or setbacks as potential opportunities for God's redirection in your life? And number two, share an example from your life or someone you know where a rejection in a relationship eventually led to a better, more fulfilling one. How did faith play a role in this process? And number three, how can individuals discern whether a rejection or setback is an indication of God's redirection or simply a result of your personal choices or circumstances? And number four, discuss the concept of patience and trust in God's plan when faced with rejection. How can you maintain faith during challenging times? And the last question I want you to ponder upon, have you ever resisted a redirection from God because you were too attached to your own plans or desires? What did you learn from that experience? Or are you currently experiencing that right now? Do you need our prayers? So, sisters, and just in case, we have brothers listening, I simply would want you to ponder on these questions and answer this as well. If you find that listening to the questions I've said is once is not enough, simply pause it or rewind it so that at least you can play it back and listen to my questions. So once again, everyone, this is what I want to leave you. In the world's and life's rejection, when you turn and tune in to God, this can be a great redirection for you and for your life to live it more meaningfully and purposefully. With that, everyone, let me just simply say a short prayer for all of you. Lord, I simply want to say thank you so much for this day that you had given each and every one of us. Though okay, I may not know exactly what were the rejections or the cause of frustrations that they have right now in their hearts or what they experience in life. I ask you to heal the pain that they actually experience and give them the power and wisdom on how they could actually move on. Show them, let them have an ear to listen to you on what direction you're leading them to a more meaningful and purposeful life. And above all, give them peace, give them joy as they try to find the meaning or the message out of this rejection or rejections they actually experience. Thank you so much, God, because just like what you've said in Romans 8:28, all things work together for good to those who love God. So looking forward for our next meeting. Thank you so much, God, and may God bless you everyone. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen. So, with that, everyone, until our next meeting or our next video, looking forward to see you in our next episode. May God bless you. And again, rejections, once you tune in and turn to God, it can be your life's redirection. See you, everyone. God bless you.